Live from downtown State College.
Welcome into the Lane and Tangwall live call-in show coming at you guys hot every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. If you aren't here, I do appreciate it because I do understand. Forgot we had a Monday night doubleheader NFL, but what are we talking about here? Live call-in show versus what? We got like the Texans and the Bucks? Come on, man. You guys know where you want to be. You want to be here with me every single Monday night. I just came. I do a mad dash. My Mondays are kind of crazy. I just came from the Penn State golf course where big Keith Goon Conlon and I do a show as well. So we have a Sunday morning show, and then we do his show. That's the Blue White Player Show. And that is on, it's like a local Fox station and whatnot. What's up, guys? Will, what is up? Tron, what's up? Luke, how are we doing today? How are you guys feeling? You enjoying the bye week so far? Time to take some time off. No anxiety. Yes, we are sponsored by. Oh, give me back, John. Give me back. Yeah. Anti-Fragile Keg Cam. We are sponsored and brought to you by Anti-Fragile Brewing Company, downtown State College, where John, producer John, you've been munching on those cheesesteaks. They give us cheesesteaks for the whole crew every single Saturday during the games.
I thought they were buying my loyalty.
Yeah.
But they actually earned it.
Ooh. Through cheese, meat, and onions.
Through cheese, meat, and onions. They're pretty good, man. They put you in a little bit of a food coma.
I'll tell you what, you got to be careful with that one. Here comes the Paxton Lynch already. I think we have like a theme, like the live call-in after the game's a little more serious. I think tonight is just a little more. We have a little more fun in here. I'll tell you what. Landon Felix says Oregon is official on the clock. Yes, sir. Tron says the JP 409 bottle is getting low. Yeah, it is. We're gonna have to get a refill on that one. I'll tell you what. Bucks or Texans? Oh my God, that's so bad. I don't even know. What's interesting is I was talking about this. I have CJ Stroud going into year 3 now, but it's so amazing how every NFL quarterback goes into that year 2 slump. It's like magic. Every single one. My man Shamrock, much love from Irish Nation. Appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna turn on that Notre Dame offense here soon. I put out a little breakdown on the Notre Dame defense. It was a rough day for Christian Gray, who who had the pick against us? Was that Leonard Moore or was that Christian Gray? I don't even want to talk about it. Never mind. Stop. Anyways.
It's my girlfriend's new favorite player.
Yeah? Enough. PSU Everything says, plug the space for next Wednesday. I guess, yeah. Are we doing a space next Wednesday, PSU Everything? My man Alec, I guess we're doing a space. Yeah, so we'll be on Twitter. I'm going to try to do some more spaces on Twitter. We'll try. He said, just finish up Truckers versus the Deer football game podcast. I got to check that out then. I don't know. I haven't heard of that one. Is it good? Let me know. I'm always looking for new pods. Is there a line yet on the Oregon game? Yeah, so from what I'm seeing right now, we'll pull it up. Let me just double check. But it looks like the line is at 6.5 right now. Penn State minus 6.5. Is that where we're still at? Okay. FanDuel doesn't want to work. How do we look this thing up here? Well, I don't know. But that's as of today. I mean, it's like it's going to fluctuate probably between 3.5 and 6.5. I think it'll end at like 3.5 or 4.5. Penn State, with those points. So, excuse me, Penn State minus 4.5, minus 3.5. That's where I think we're probably going to end up at. So, if you like Oregon, minus 6, I feel like it sounds so good. Like that, there's going to be so much money if it stays Oregon, and you can get Oregon with 6.5 points. So many people are going to take that. I don't know. I feel like that's a trap, though. As much as we've seen Oregon look explosive, and it's like Penn State has sucked. Someone that has watched more tape on this Penn State team than I feel confident than literally probably anybody else in this world. Somehow Vegas knows all, and I don't know. Someone's got to figure that out. How do they know, John? How does Vegas know? They know every single time.
Carry the 1. -2, 11 plus 6 is 7. It's calculus, I think.
There you go. It's calculus. They just know. Shout out, you guys launched a new podcast. There you go. Congrats. I'll definitely have to check it out. What do you think of the Giants' James Hudson blocking? If you haven't seen that, go look up the sequence of James Hudson and his penalties for the Giants on Sunday. He gets he gets a personal foul for just absolutely plug. Oh, yeah, go ahead and throw up the
phone. There. You ready for it?
Yeah, absolutely ready. He gets a personal foul for clubbing someone, and then he gets a holding, and then he gets back-to-back false starts, and then he gets benched on the first drive. It was actually probably one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. It was absolutely great. Ian Purdy says, any comment on Fred Snurd's ongoing investigation? Dude, I've seen that. I still refuse to believe that that's real. I think that is completely manufactured. I need to see some real evidence that Snurd went to jail for like assaulting Pat Narduzzi. Call in 814-400-4188. Any questions that you guys have, let me know. Let's see, what are we? We got a caller. Hello. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Alex from New York.
What's up, Alex? How you doing? What's your question?
So it feels like watching Drew Allar, he's at his best almost when we're down. I think back to Oregon, USC last year. How do we get him to play that loose in a couple of weeks from the start? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely get your question. I think you're right. And what I see is Drew Allar plays from his best when he has nothing to lose. And I'm assuming if you are in here, you probably watch my post-game show. And you know what else? If we're playing from behind and we need to score points quick, you know what else we're in? We're basically in a spread offense that is essentially a 2-minute drill. I don't want to, I'm just going to say how I feel. And I've kind of felt the way that Drew Allar, I think everybody's kind of known, like it's not like a secret that Kotelnicki's offense isn't great for Drew Allar, but like really watching it, I've started to be like, yo, I think all these RPOs and like him moving to the side and Singleton taking the snap and all these different things, like it messes with his rhythm. And you got to think like quarterback is all rhythm play and feeling comfortable. So I don't know if there's one specific answer. What we're going to do is we're going to come out, we're going to try to run the ball, and we're going to throw quick passes over the middle to get him going, and then we go from there to kind of continue to stretch the field. I think that's how we will start out Oregon. So that's what I expect. Sorry, we just had a caller. If you we were still answering that call back. Yep, we got a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kaz from Stroudsburg.
What's up, brother? What's your question?
So I had a question. So when do you? I know they're on a bye week, but and I know like they do some recruiting trips, and I kind of know how it works. I understand James Franklin's got to do his rounds. He's got to go visit. I know he was visiting Khalil Taylor today, which is great. We got to do our recruiting, but I got to ask as a former player, when do you guys start preparing in a bye week? When do you guys start preparing for a next opponent, or do you guys start preparing for a big time opponent like Oregon, like a little bit earlier than you would say if you were playing like a Villanova or a Northwestern?
Yeah, so it doesn't really change too much as far as who you're playing, but how it works is like today is the player's off day. And so I'll just take you through the bye week schedule. So it was normal on Sunday. Now it is the off day that you normally have. And guys still came in, and I was talking, Dom DeLuca was on the show with Goon and I over at the golf course, and you still watch Oregon. So you're tuned into Oregon, and you start to get an idea. So you get a 12-day head start instead of just a 5-day head start or 4-day head start. So that's big. Then they're going to have 2 practices on Tuesday and Wednesday that are the normal Tuesday, Wednesday practice. We call those the lunch pail days. You put the pads on, you're going out, you're hitting. And then Thursday is that we call it no sweat Thursday. So how we normally do it, Thursday's no sweat. You can only walk. You can't jog at all. And it's very like scientific, like football scientific stuff where you can only walk. And then Friday is called Fast Friday, where you're just in helmets and you're in spiders, which is basically like a lighter form of shoulder pads. And it's like quick. You sweat, you're running around, you're moving, you go through like every scenario that there is. And so that's kind of how the normal week goes, just to give you that idea. And then obviously you travel on Friday either to the home hotel or you travel on the plane. So for this week, we have our normal Tuesday, Wednesday practice. Thursday is no sweat Thursday still. You're going through walkthroughs. And this week, like Franklin doesn't do a ton of Oregon. It is expected that like you're watching Oregon tape and you are learning from that, but kind of focuses on them. Now you are putting in some plays. Now that's the biggest upside that there is that you have 12 days to look at the Oregon defense, let's say, and say, okay, I see X, Y, and Z that we can expose. Or I see X, Y, and Z that we need to get ready for. And I'll just tell you, I've already watched Oregon tape. Like the offensive line, they got to be ready because that defensive line, they run multiple fronts. They'll be in a 5-down front where there is 5 guys down in front of the offensive line. They'll run 4-down front. They'll run a 3-down front. They will be in a 4-down front. And as the ball is snapping, they will switch to a 5-man front. Like it is... They like to get creative over there at Oregon. So there's a lot of stuff to get ready for. So you're not necessarily you're not practicing for Oregon this week, but you are studying them and starting to put some plays in that kind of has to do with them. But really, you still don't start till Sunday. So the players then have off Friday and Saturday. And I'll just tell you, it is nice. As a player, you don't ever get to watch and just sit there and watch like college football for an entire Saturday. When we get the bye weeks and you have off for all of Saturday and you just get to sit on the couch like a normal person and just tune into college football for like 12 wow, I'm struggling today. Too many beers. I got too many shows where I have to consume beer, John. Shout out Anti-Fragile. But you just get to watch 12 hours of football. Just sit there. Hey, maybe if you want to have a couple beers, whatever it is. It's good, man. It is absolutely good. So that's kind of the player schedule. And then this coming Sunday, that's back to normal schedule. Then you come in and you were working on Oregon, and the advantage is there that you don't come in and you're not watching tape from the game before. You are watching Oregon and just getting ready on that Sunday. Once again, if you are a player that does not play a lot, if you're a freshman, sophomore, or someone that doesn't play and you're even older, this bye week is hell for you. I want to tell you guys, if you don't play, you're the D squad, that's the practice squad basically, you're going to war. You're in full pads every single day and you're just pow, pow, pow. Oh, it's not good, man. I'll tell you what. It is interesting though. Franklin's record, I think, is 6-7. Off of a bye here at Penn State. Not good. I mean, there is. I'd have to look at how many. I think most of those losses.
That's barely more than half.
Oh, that's math. You're a math connoisseur. I'll tell you what.
I just learned you're not. 6-7, man. Come on, even you got that.
How do we avoid 6-7 in this chat? It doesn't stop. We got Penn State Mafia in the chat, one of the most notorious Twitter accounts there is out there. Michael says, Landon, really appreciate the honest perspective you're bringing to Penn State media. I consume way more than I care. Truly bringing in something new to the table. Michael, appreciate you, bro. He said even his 82-year-old dad is enjoying it. Let's go. My man, I'm guessing Mr. McCullen. Tell him I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, look, I'll tell you, where is that Dom interview at? If you go to, don't do it right now, but if you go to, I think it's Blue White Player Show on YouTube, you'll be able to watch that. It's up there. Like, people have asked me about that. I pride myself, like, at the end of the day, like, it is, I'm a journalist. It feels weird to, like, say that because, like, it's just so, like, different from what an old school journalist is. But I was always so big on, like, telling the truth. Like, I'm not going to come on here and just be like a shill. Just be like, oh, yeah, like, everything's good all the time. What would that do? I also have aspirations to obviously be very high up in this media world and I want to stay in college football. I do not want to go to the NFL. I find it's so fascinating in college football, and there's already enough going on in the NFL. I think that's already taken care of. I think college football needs more good coverage. I think that's something that it's lacking, specifically the Big Ten. We need that. I've told you guys on this show before, specifically the Monday night call-in show, that I want to be a place where people in the Big Ten can come and get good content, because the SEC has way, way too much. If you guys, any questions, 814-400-4188. Call in. Doesn't have to be about Oregon. Doesn't have to be about Villanova. It can be bye week. It can be whatever you guys like. You want to ask me about anything of my time.
Landon, what's your favorite color?
John, that's enough mic for you. Tron says, do you think you'll have to expand to cover more than just PSU to get bigger? I mean, to a degree. You guys see it. I kind of already am a little bit. I enjoy doing that. It's kind of fun to be able to branch out a little bit. I did a video you can see on my YouTube of Ohio State offensive lineman Luke Montgomery. He dominated Texas week 1. It did like 14,000 views. So, it's good to branch out. But I really do want to make kind of my name in the Big Ten. And so once again, I can continue to cover Penn State specifically, but, be able to cover all these like Illinois and Indiana play this week. And I'm not going to probably make, on Twitter, I'll do some cut-ups because I have the film and I'm going to start watching them. I probably won't make a YouTube video because who really cares? But
it is an interesting game.
It is. It's a top 10 team and a top 20 team.
For a change.
Yeah, I guess. But that's what I mean. Like there's nowhere to go if you're an Ohio State or a Penn State fan on your week off and you're like, hey, I want to check out what that matchup's going to look like. I'm going to watch that this weekend because Penn State isn't on. There's nowhere to really go for that. You're going to go to the Big Ten Network? Fall asleep. Sorry. I love Jake Butt, though. Jake's my guy. I've been talking. He's awesome. What do you got here? I'm having Cornwall says.
Cornwall.
Never going to read what Cornwall says, but Cornwall, always appreciate the donations, brother. Getting it started. My guy. Penn State Mafia is assaulting other Penn State media members, per usual. That makes sense. Indiana's quarterback is settling in. Yeah, Mendoza. I'm excited to study him. He hasn't played any good teams, but I'm gonna put some stuff out on him this week on Twitter. So make sure you guys follow me at Landon Tangwall. Anthony says Landon Tangwall, the name in Clemson football news. Yeah, dude. Unfortunately, you'll never see me make another Clemson film cut up because they banned me and then they copyrighted all my stuff. And if you get like too many copyrights, you can get in trouble. So I'm just leaving Clemson alone. Yes, we have a caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Landon? My name is John. I'm calling from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. How are you this evening?
What's up, John? How you doing, brother? How you doing over there in the Berg?
I am doing well, man. How are you?
Doing well. What's your question?
So I have a multi-part question here. First thing, I think you're killing it with the film breakdowns. I think the FIU zone block scheme breakdown was awesome.
Thank you so much.
You got to keep doing that. Question though, straight into it. Do you think the staff at Penn State are a bit of Drew Allar apologists?
He got right into it. So wait. So meaning from a standpoint of what? Like you're saying they're just going to ride with him no matter what, or?
Yeah, and I do think that they periodically over the course of the last 3 years have kind of built in excuses that have led to the end of relationships with players and coaches in some instances. Example given. So we have talked about wide receiver being a problem for a long time, right? Or at least the last 2 to 3 years. Are we sure that that's entirely accurate? Like, if you look at the guys that have transferred out, production it's not an issue anywhere else. Like, are we supposed to believe that Trey Wallace wasn't open last year? Because I've watched the games over enough. He's open. The issue a lot of the times is Drew's late.
I hear what you're saying. You listen, and to a degree, and I've said this, like I think this is a real thing, and it kind of sucks as a Penn State fan. Like generally, you don't come to Penn State to play quarterback. I know that sounds like kind of messed up, but like if you're a star quarterback and you're a 5-star and you're looking around, like you're going to go other places because Penn State is a defense and run first team. Like as much as it doesn't matter if it was Joe Paterno or James Franklin or even drawing a blank on Rip Engel. Rip Engel. It doesn't matter if you're Rip Engel. We ran the ball and played good defense. I'm gonna pretend like I even know what Rip Engel did and what he coached here, but that's what it was. And so at the same time, and I've told this story, Dante Thornton, who's on the Raiders now, and he was explosive. He was committed here as a true freshman but a high school freshman. He was like the first guy in the 2021 class committed back in like 2017 maybe. And I remember, so I was going to commit like my junior year. I'm like, yo, stay committed. And I remember talking to his uncle, and he's like, I'm not coming here anymore. I'm decommitting. I'm like, yo, why? And he's like, because I haven't seen anything that shows me that I can be an elite wide receiver at Penn State. And like I said, that's kind of just what it is. Like we run the ball here. We have generally, it wasn't in the 2010s, and that was kind of because sanctions. We didn't have a good offensive line, but generally we have a really good offensive line, and we play great defense. And you have a quarterback that is very serviceable. So that's why it was such a shock and great news when we got Drew Allar, a 5-star quarterback. And then I was here under Mike Yurcich. It was what it was, we'll leave it at that. But you go out, and I don't fault. Koto Nicki was the best offensive coordinator available to get when we brought him in. The main problem was, like I said, and what I said in the postgame show, that it just doesn't fully fit Drew Allar. And that's not to say that Drew Allar can't be good in this offense. And that's not just throwing him a life preserver and just saying, hey, it's okay if you miss throws or you throw dumb interceptions. Like, I'm not excusing a lot of what Drew Allar's done. I'm just telling you, when you guys say, why is his mechanics mess up? And why is his mental so wrong? Well, instead of being in the offense that he should be in, which, like I've said, is basically a spread West Coast style offense where he is just there slinging it around. And yeah, you can hand it off out of the spread, or you can even get in, under center at times. But that's the offense he excels in. So when you start to do those RPOs and these trick plays, and Drew's lining up at wide receiver, do you see, sometimes every once in a blue moon, but do you see Tom Brady doing that? Do you see Peyton Manning do that? Do you see Big Ben doing that? And I'm not saying that Drew Allar is those quarterbacks or is as good as those quarterbacks. But when you have that style of quarterback, that's not the offense that you run. You run the offense that fits him. Now, the problem is, and I've also said this, that offensive coordinators are who they are. Andy Kotelnicki is not going to randomly become a West Coast offensive coordinator just because it fits Drew Allar. So that is kind of where we're at. And I've said it, like it's not a secret. I don't think it's a secret at all. With the Andy Kotelnicki offense, yes, you want a Bo Pabula quarterback, or you want a Jalen Daniels of who he had at Jalon. Was it Jalon Daniels? However, I know it was Jalon. I don't know. But he was the quarterback at Kansas, him and a couple other guys. They were all like mobile guys at Kansas for Kotelnicki. And I went back and looked at it. Kansas in 2020, I guess that was 2022. Yeah, before Kotelnicki came. 2022. The average was like 8 carries per game by a quarterback. Do you think that Drew Allar should be an offense that base offense wants their quarterback to carry the ball 8 times? No. Like, absolutely not. That just doesn't make sense. So that's where we're at. And like I said, this is not a shot. This isn't a shot at Kotelnicki. This isn't a shot at Drew. I think they are both great, and they both have the ability to be great, but I just don't think they fit well, and that's okay. That's all right. And yeah, like Drew has the mobility. He has the mobility you need now at quarterback. Now at quarterback, you have to be a certain level of mobile. Like, you cannot just be a statue. And Drew's got that. Drew, by the way, his ability to navigate the pocket has been borderline elite, of just shaking guys, and it's just really smooth. I mean, think back to USC last year on those final drives, even earlier this year when we had some guys come free, just so effortlessly just moving around in the pocket. So, Michael McCullen says, so is Grunk an Andy Kotelnicki quarterback? No, I mean, it's basically the same thing as Drew, but at the same time, I don't really think you have to worry, because Andy Kotelnicki's probably not going to be. He's going to go be a head coach. He was this close to being a head coach this past offseason. Yes, we have a caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Alex from State College.
Shout out to home crib. What's up, Alex? What's your question?
So if we do go into the whiteout and we do beat Oregon, what do you think is going to happen on Beaver Avenue, and how many people are going to get arrested?
That is a great question. That's a great question from a townie. Yeah, no, things are going to.
It's a relevant issue.
That is a relevant issue. I really hope that we have to worry about that. You guys have to take down the field goal post and bring it down to Studio Center downtown.
Ooh.
That's where we're located.
Producer John's on it. I haven't got arrested yet this season.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm 1-0.
We'll see.
I got that 1-0
That's
mindset.
the other thing we got to worry about too, is depending on how the Oregon game goes, Producer John could be 15 beers deep, especially because it's a 7:30 game. I'm gonna have to come in with
15 beers or 5 to life, depending on how it goes.
One or the other. But I think it would be chaotic. I think they would take to the streets. It would be a good time in State College, and I don't know. We'd probably, depending on how State looks, would probably just stay at 2 if we beat Oregon, just because. But also, Ohio State, as we go on and on, Ohio State's win over Texas looks less and less impressive.
Good point.
I almost said Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning. It looks like he's going through it right now. I don't know what's on with him. We got Miss Sarah Jackson in the chat. Wait, hold on. First, we got Landon, 3rd and 5 versus Oregon. Who do you go to? I don't know why, but that instantly in my head, just like I thought of 4th and 5. We don't need to bring that up. I'm sorry. 3rd and 5 versus Oregon. We got a caller, Kyron Hudson. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Landon. This is Charles from Texas.
What's up, Charles? Calling in from the great state of Texas. What's your question, brother?
Sir, one quick actually question here. Would you ever do a live stream of watching the Penn State game? I feel like you would be actually pretty entertaining, given on some of the things that some of the reactions I heard your girlfriend mentioning about what you do. And maybe some quick analysis of the game. And then I have one other question, but just thoughts there.
Yeah, I've thought about it, and look, at the end of the day, I feel like people would probably, there would be some people that would tune in. I kind of enjoy my viewing process, and I do grow my Twitter a lot, live tweeting and stuff. So I probably don't think I'd ever do it, because at the same time, I want you guys to enjoy the broadcast and be able to come to me afterwards and hear what my thoughts. But yeah, you just hear a lot of yelling at times, good or bad. And then if it was something like the offensive performance so far this early, we'll call it a preseason, my shoes I was just John, you can attest to this. I was shoeless for a while.
I was going to say, I'll give the audience a little behind the scenes look at the man Landon Tangwall when the cameras aren't on. If you've ever seen a documentary on honey badgers, That's roughly Landon's state of mind during a Penn State game.
And then I'll go over and get some Chipotle too, probably something like that. But yeah, that's me.
But caller, you had a second question.
Yeah. Second question. I feel like I watched quite a lot of Penn State breakdown stuff, and they always ask the question, what did Jim Knowles say when he came here to give a breakdown to Drew and the offense? But they never actually give any tangible evidence of what Jim Knowles said. And on the broadcast for how bad it was, the one thing they did say was Jim Knowles told his defense, Ohio State, don't panic when the ball's in the air because he has such high loft. So it seems like this year he's definitely been throwing it more of a bullet on the long ball. What other things do you think Jim Knowles said to Drew and Andy? Anything that you would guess, any insight that you have there? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so looking at those games that Drew played against them, what they did, it was a personnel thing, but we talked about earlier, Trey Wallace was being open at times. Ohio State came out and they bracketed Tyler Warren, or they put Caleb Downs on him. That was one of the few people in all of college football that could somewhat neutralize Tyler Warren. And they went man-to-man against everybody else, and there was nothing. And Knowles brought some complex blitzes and got in Drew's head, and the rest was kind of history. Also, we got to the goal line 2 different times and didn't score. We should have won that game. I still can't believe we didn't win that game. It feels like that's what I say after every single Ohio State game since whenever, a long time. I don't know. We need to come in some fire. I need someone to give a Deion Butler 2008 speech against when we're in Columbus again. Someone's got to channel that inner Deion Butler. They don't have the tradition to hold our nuts.
I wasn't there for. Why are you looking at me?
I don't know, but
because someone I feel you're asking me to give the speech.
I don't know. I would give the speech if I was on the team. My God, I wish we were able to do that.
I'd give a speech to the team, but
anyways, John, that would you just be drunk speech. No, I think I think he told him, like you said, a little too much loft, but how I saw it was everybody was clamped. Everybody was clamped down, and there was really nowhere for Drew to throw the ball. I felt for Drew in that game, and really against Ohio State in all of Drew's career. His first big start was against Ohio State in 2023. That was his first big game. If you don't call West Virginia week 1 a big game, and we made Drew. I think he threw it 45 times or something. Not successful at all to put your quarterback in that situation. We can't do that this coming Ohio State game either. Someone asked, do I sync up the radio? I love Steve Jones and Jack Ham, but I do not sync that up just because I'm always rewinding and stuff. That's how you guys see me get the videos out. I'm rewinding, taking videos. I'm
Honey Badger
with it. Yeah. Someone said, I don't know, Penn State Mafia was probably trolling me, so I can't even answer that. Let's ask Sarah whether Landon should live stream during a game. No, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. Cornwall says, all right, let me read this. I can never read out loud.
I was about to say, you're going to read this one silently.
Okay, it seems like a real question. Cornwall, thank you so much for the donation. We have more pressure on us than Oregon in this spot. With your background, what angles do you think Franklin and co. will be utilizing to give the players motivation for this matchup against Oregon? Thank you for the donation, brother. Oh, I don't know. He's just going to say 1-0. I don't really think it's anything too different, but we all know Drew Allar, James Franklin, everybody knows how much pressure is coming into this game, because if you lose this game, there are some really big question marks about this team in general. And then on top of that, you feel like Ohio State you have to win that game, or else if you go 10-2 with losses to Oregon and Ohio State, you're probably in. You're probably still in the playoffs, but you're probably a 10, 11, or 12 seed. I wouldn't even want to think about that. Let's go ahead and let's win this thing. But I don't know. I think we'd be in a tricky situation. But I don't know if there's going to be any special motivation. I think everybody understands what is at stake here in this game. Keno Flex was the official Penn State beer to have at games. Antifragile, yeah. Shout out Antifragile for sponsoring the show. Check them out. Best cheesesteaks in town, too. Breakfast cheesesteak.
Vouch.
With bacon.
I vouch for that cheesesteak like it's my homie on the street.
Oh, that's a good one.
I vouch for its cred. That cheesesteak has street cred. Did I just create a new?
No. I don't know.
Are the kids going to be saying that?
No.
My cheesesteak.
You're not starting anything new. Let me tell you what. But yeah, Franklin's not big, like necessarily like motivational guy, like day of game and stuff. I'll tell you, we something cool that you guys have probably never heard. We do hotel shares. So when you get to the hotel Friday night, whether it's home or away, they pick 2 seniors to get up and kind of like, they like share their kind of life story and how they got there and their journey there. And it can get pretty emotional. It's pretty cool. Sometimes you'll have a coach do it too. It's something that kind of brings everybody together, and it gets, like I said, it gets emotional. It gets kind of fun. So I like that. Guess I got to buy a chat for you to answer me. $4.99. Guess where that money came from? My wallet. No, I was kidding. I'm totally, my dinner's getting thrown out of the window now.
Yeah, this might
and
be
now,
like
and
one
now,
of those poison the king situations you're going home.
It probably is, and $4.99, like half of that goes to YouTube. So babe, we just gave like half our money to YouTube. What are we gonna do? Oh, I'm totally screwed now, guys.
The grind this week to make up that $250.
We're gonna have to work. Someone needs to donate more money to make up. No, I'm just kidding. God, I'm in so much trouble now. This is great.
You're a YouTuber now. You're a content creator.
Yeah, I am. What percentage of the playbook RPOs? Oh, hold on. I'll get to that in 1 second. Michael McCullen says, what are you hearing from your O-line brothers about Chaz Coleman? Thank you for the donation, brother. He is hard to stop. His spin move is something. I'll tell you what. Hearing guys say, how do we figure this out? As a true freshman, that's great. Yes, we have a caller. Chaz is the man. I'll tell you what. He's going to be Abdul Carter. He truly is. Yes. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Nick Shearer calling from Tampa. How you doing?
What's up, Nick? How you doing? Doing well, brother. What is your question?
Yeah, I got a 2-part question. Number 1, if you can order one thing for game day food-wise, what are you ordering?
Nice.
Second part of that question is, from the psychological standpoint of these players, do you think there's a little bit of the weight of the world and expectations are feeling them the first few games? And as a player, what would you have to do? Or is it a play to lock in to get that weight lifted off?
Yeah, so first, I'm just going to the good wings. Good wings. If I can get, I probably need more than a dozen because I want to have some before the game, and then my nerves are going to kick in, and then I want to go back at halftime. John has seen the halftime feast that I put down, so I'll go just a bucket full of wings, and probably not normal. I'm a big sweet potato fan.
Like an excavator full of wings.
I like onion rings too. Maybe onion rings. When I go to Duffy's Tavern here in State College, I go onion rings and wings. Anyways, as far as kind of getting ready, I don't know if there's not like one play. As a player, you have to take that first hit. Everybody's so nervous, and then you take that first hit, and it all goes away. And you don't it's amazing when you're in Beaver Stadium. You don't hear the noise. Like, you hear it, but it's background noise, and you're kind of just in it. And it's one of the coolest experiences ever. So I think you just got to go out there. You got to put together a good game plan and just execute. And we need confidence from Drew Allar, Nick Singleton, and everybody else on that squad. Cornwall said Landon in the doghouse. Free Landon. Amen. Speaking of free, no paywall, just Tangwall. Nick, thank you so much for the $4.99, my man. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. That reminds me, I was over at Student Bookstore today. We should have Landon Tangwall show merch, no paywall, just Tangwall merch coming out within the next 2 weeks. I'm working with a couple people. I don't know who yet on the team. I'm going to work with someone's charity on the team. I'm not going to take any money. I'm going to donate to someone's charity on the team, but we just want you guys in the Landon Tangwall show merch repping for us. So that'll be coming out here in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited for that.
You can physically get that in the student bookstore, you're saying?
You can get it or online. Don't worry. I'm going to blast out the link as soon as it comes out. So I got you guys.
Very nice. All proceeds to charity.
Absolutely. We'll do like Dawkins Foundation or Dom DeLuca's charity, one or the other. We'll be good with it. Franklin is really careful about, hold on. Brandon Christopher, move Nick to number 2 in the live stream game. Sarah, equal our truth. Thank you for the $5, brother. Yes, I am on the Katron Allen RB1 train. Franklin is really careful about not providing bulletin board material. Here's Lanning saying finding bulletin board material. How do you think they are going to be mad? Sorry, I can't even see that all the way. Oh, we got too many donations. Charles, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Real quick before Franklin is huge on bulletin board material. If you say something dumb that gives them bulletin board material, he gets pissed. I will tell you what. He puts you through a lot of media training. He says, seems like that number 23 on defense is real. Thoughts on the young secondary so far this year? Yeah, look good. I think ABS, Anton Belgrave Shorter's coming along. You've seen Darius Dixon. You mentioned Jameer Joseph. I think we're in a really good place for the future of this defensive back room. And that's great. I think King Mac's going to be around for a little while. That's great news. I mean, he heat-seeking missile. It was great that he came back from Bama. Wish he never left, but nonetheless, definitely well needed. I think he might even take over that starting role from ABS, but we're in a good place with those DBs. Nick, thank you so much for the donation. Landon, what does Jim Knowles need to scheme to neutralize Oregon's tight end Sadiq? Oh boy, that boy Sadiq, let me tell you what, he is a man. That is basically an offensive tackle body, a little slimmer, but he's hurdling guys. He is the nastiest blocker. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Oregon has 2 nasty blocking tight ends that will bury you, but they want to basically draw a penalty. Like they'll do the little like dirty stuff where they'll kind of like shove your face into the turf a little bit at the end and just try to mess with you. I think I saw them already maybe draw like 2 personal fouls. Our guys got to be on top of that, because if they get in their head, we can't be having any type of penalties in the Oregon game. But we're going to have to, I'm probably going to do a film breakdown on their 2 tight ends here pretty shortly, but we're going to have a ton of Oregon film breakdowns coming out. But yeah, we're going to have to find a way to neutralize our boy Sadiq, because he is, they got some weapons. They are explosive. They are big. They are strong over at Oregon. Let's see what we got. Luke says, or Chris said Dejon Lane. Yeah, Dejon Lane, I think he's in a great place too. Needs to work on the tackling. Zion Tracy and Dejon Lane. That's my main worry for both of them. They need to work on that tackling. That has been a weak spot. If you saw Zion Tracy this week come down and make a great tackle, it wasn't a great tackle. It was a TFL, but he like threw his body with no arms. And I'm like, Zion, you need to be careful, because that won't work against the Big Ten running back. So that's kind of the next step they need to take. Yes, it is going to be a T-shirt. And then we've already talked. If the T-shirts do well, and they sell a lot right now, we will come out with sweatshirts as we get deeper into the fall. So that is kind of what we are.
Where will there be dog T-shirts?
Dog T-shirts? No, I don't know about that one, buddy. Well, if we get big enough, guys.
What if my dog wants its dog friends to know that it doesn't care much for paywalls, but it does care for Tangwalls?
Well, anybody can.
You're going to deny my dog?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am, John. That's enough out of producer John right now. I'm just here supporting Landon through all his endeavors. John. Oh, boy. Oh, John. I said John. Oh, Juan. Oh, shout out Juan.
I might actually get punched after this show. So,
yeah.
Sorry, I'll be quiet.
I like fighting John sometimes. We
do have some good fights.
When we get to the ends of like those games that we've had recently, I like to like punch him a little bit.
I am undefeated, for the record.
Yeah. Tyler Warren is a dog for the Colts here. We all knew that. Shout out the Bears for just absolutely selling that pick and taking a Michigan tight end over Tyler Warren. Not smart, man.
See, the chat gets me.
What are you
like
doing?
Dog shirt. Yeah, they're with me.
One Take State says, so 3 games into the season, what difference have you seen from the RBs, from the coaching switch, more explosive, better hole finding, etc.? Katron Allen, I think, is the same. I think he almost even looks better. We're going to see him in a bigger role, I believe. Sorry, beer burp there, guys. Apologies. Nick Singleton, I don't know. Nick, justice for producer John. No, producer John's going to keep catching arm punches. Nick Singleton he's struggling right now. Like, once again, good friend, and he was awesome. Always checked up on me through my retirement. Like, I love Nick with all my heart, but he has struggled to find the holes, and it looks like he is struggling with that confidence. He's got to figure that out and feel that confidence back. I don't think it's a coaching thing. It just and Nick has always struggled in the open field. As much as it may not seem that way, I did a film breakdown in the offseason on the For the Blog YouTube channel, and I said, hey, this is something he's got to get better at. He has not gotten better, almost worse. I mean, I put out on Twitter, you guys saw the PFF elusiveness rating where Nick has like a 15 elusiveness rating, and his freshman year, he had like 100 elusiveness rating. I know it's hard to scale that because I don't even know how to scale that, but all I know is Katron has a 236 elusiveness rating, and Nick has a 15. A little bit of difference there. Charles, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Do you think the PSU staff watches your film breakdowns? Feel like you cut up and analyze faster than their staff? I'm sure it gets watched to a certain degree. I would not doubt it that some people are tuning in, but probably not happy sometimes with some of the things I say. But listen, I love doing it, and like I said, sometimes that's another reason why I kind of want to expand out to agree. Sometimes it's a little too close to home, trying to break down in depth on the Penn State. But I love doing it, I'm always going to cover Penn State very tightly. So Jamie Lynch says, best PSU nicknames of all time, Chaz, Manian, Devil is elite. Oh, what are some other ones that we have? Oh, I'm trying to blank right now. We've had some really good ones, but Chaz, Manian, Devil is great because not only is it just fit so well, it's specifically because Chaz has that spin move. Like his spin move is his move. That is the move. And that's obviously what the Tasmanian Devil does. Just
That's
spins.
actually pretty good. I didn't realize that was his move.
Yeah. Oh, he's like a big spin move guy. To the point, like he's got some other great, and he's going to be great. I think he needs to continue to develop a little bit more with other moves. I mean, how he got his sack, he's got that natural bend. I truly believe Chop Robinson, Abdul Carter is where Chaz Coleman is going to get to.
His Chop's signature move, the chop.
Well, that's a celebration. He does like an axe chop, like pick it up, pow. I still need to take credit. I got Chop Robinson here. I'll never forget hitting him up after Maryland game freshman year. I'm like, they're dropping you into coverage. You're not rushing the passer. I'm like, all right, we need to figure this out. And I told Pry, shout out my man Pry, who is kind of sad he got fired from Virginia Tech. But let me tell you what, you are getting, John, how would you feel? Someone says, I'm going to fire you right now, producer John, you're fired, but $6 million and you get to go do nothing. You can do whatever you want.
Let's say that's how I feel every day minus the $6 million.
Oh, there we go. That's a good point,
It's
actually.
just that my state of existence is constant fear of homelessness, terrorized by you.
That's so good. That's so good. Juan, thank you. I appreciate the love on the film breakdowns. Kyle says, do you think Jim is going to make a big difference in this game? Hopefully help us not get into a shootout with Oregon. Yeah, I think to a degree, Jim Knowles has had Will Stein's number. Will Stein is the Oregon offensive coordinator. He's done a good job, done a really good job kind of handling him there. I think that we are going to finally, if there's anybody that's been vanilla, it's Jim Knowles. You have not seen the disguise coverages. You haven't seen any of his elite blitz packages that I know are in, but we haven't had to run them. It's not even like he's just hitting them. You're not going to run blitz packages versus teams that are running the option offense and just peppering you quick passes. So that's something to be on the lookout for. We got to get after Dante Moore, because I will tell you, the biggest thing that we did not do in the Big Ten championship with Dylan Gabriel, Oregon's quarterback last year, we didn't get after him. That was the one game. Abdul Carter kind of struggled, and yeah, we got to get after our guy. Yes, we have a caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Cornwall from PA.
Oh, Cornwall. What's up, brother? Appreciate the donations, man. What's going on? What is the question?
Yeah, my big question is, obviously, the main thing, everyone's talking about the offense, but the one thing I wanted to kind of ask about is Jim Knowles, Mr. $3 million man or whatever he is. He's got a bye week. And, I mean, if anything, this should completely just favor him right here. I was just kind of curious to see what his potential adjustments are going to be against this Oregon team, which the offense does look explosive. But, again, is it going to be worth that sort of that $3 million price tag?
Yeah.
Because, again, this is a bye week. Everything's basically, everyone's questioning about the offense, but curious to see what he's going to be able to do and strategize for our defense.
Yeah, like you said, he's got some time. This is the most explosive offense that we will see all year. I think even more than Ohio State, just from the guys. They have a true freshman wide receiver that is faster than fast. And like I said, they got good tight ends. Everybody's fast on the Oregon roster. That's how they do it out there on the West Coast. He is going, like I said, to have to get after Dylan Gabriel. And he's going to have to, Dylan Gabriel was last year, Dante Moore. And someone just said in the chat, Dante Moore's never played in a big game. This will be his first big game. He has never played in a crazy environment either. So now you have an opportunity here to shake him up a little bit. Send some exotic blitzes. Show him cover 2, and then boom, all of a sudden we're in, cover 1 man, and you're picking him off. Like, we need to play with his mind a little bit, and that's what Jim Knowles does best. That is why we paid him $3.1 million per year to come be the defensive coordinator at Penn State. And once again, that was the signal that we were all in on this year, going out to get Jim Knowles. And so it is put up or shut up. But I think we haven't had the defense tested yet. They've looked great. But I think the interior D-line, especially the young guys as a whole, the Oregon offensive line, we're going to get into it once we get into film breakdowns next week. But they are still physical, and they are good. We're going to see, can these young defensive tackles actually take on blocks from Big Ten linemen that are physical as all get out? So there's going to be a lot of answer. The deep ball. We have not been tested deep really at all, our DBs. We think, has anybody heard A.J. Harris's name? No one has heard A.J. Harris's name in the first 3 weeks, which is a great thing. But we're going to see A.J. Harris. Can he shut down? I think DeCarian something, I believe, is the true freshman wide receiver. Really fast guy for Oregon. Like, there's going to be tests for everybody. Penn State Mafia says he's going to be belligerently drunk for the whiteout. Penn State 30, Oregon 23. I can't wait. We'll be here taking your calls after the game too, guys. That's the best part about this. What's stopping Fat Man from running for 175 against Oregon? Our offensive line just got to be on point, which I think they definitely can be. But we just have to see it. Look, definitely took a huge step forward this past week against Villanova. I still say, hey, I need to see it against Oregon because Villanova is Villanova. That's an FCS defensive line, FCS front seven. But I think that's the game the offensive line needed to go into Oregon and say, hey, we can knock these guys off the ball and we can dominate just like we did in the Big Ten Championship where you rushed for 300 yards, by the way. We can do that again. We can do that again. Owen says, can you tell Cornwell to tell us what the FaZe Clan drama is? I'm still on the road. We're not. So I'm actually sad that I know the reference of what you're talking about. We're not talking about the FaZe Clan. Did you hear about that, John?
No.
Do you know what the FaZe Clan is?
I do because
Everybody
of
knows FaZe.
producer Steve.
Okay, yeah. One of their guys got caught in, let's call it a little bit of hot water, talking to someone that he should not be talking to.
I'm with you.
Yeah, not good, man. Not good. Nathan Ash says, what is Jim Knowles listening to in his headphones at practice? I don't know, man. We'll have to get one of the media members to ask one of those hard-hitting questions to Jim Knowles when they get to talk to him at practice availability. All right.
What if it's something wildly unexpected?
What if he's like listening to what would be
like I got a brand new pair of roller skates or something like that?
What is that?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of the most random weird song I could think of.
I don't even know what that song is.
It's a creepy song.
Okay, what if he's listening to like some? What if he just gets up? He's like Little Dirk. He's like free Little Dirk.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I had to throw you off. Aaron says, how do we get Singleton to play loose? Feels like he needs to go out and have some fun this week. Play some pickup basketball. I don't know if that's a good idea. No pickup basketball, please. But listen, like there's certain things they just have to do. Like the player just has to do it, and that's what we need to see from Nick. Like he just has to go out and be confident. I think that's why he got 20 carries against Villanova. The goal was, hey, just get this guy carries. Let's get him confident. Didn't get all the way there to the point where I felt like I'm really confident Nick Singleton. Still not seeing the blocks perfectly. Got to take that next step. We need that home run hitter for this entire season. Kaytron Allen, we know what he is going to be, but he cannot break off 60-yard runs. That is what Nick Singleton brings to the table. Big Ten Spirit says Isaiah World and Dante Moore are not ready for denied Dennis Sutton. You're right about that, brother. Or Chaz Coleman. I'll tell you right now, the matchup that I like is the right tackle for Oregon against either of our defensive ends. I think we got a matchup there. Really the right side of their line. Their right tackle and then their right guard is kind of weak in the run game. So I think that's where we attack. But they're still all physical. So let's see. We got some crazy questions. We're getting Shamak questions, Meg Million. I'll rock with Meg Million. That's my dog. Can the PSU LBs handle the Oregon running backs? That's a good question. Oregon's broken off a couple really long runs in their first couple games, playing not good defensives. But yeah, I mean, look, Tony Rojas and Amari Campbell look great. They looked really good this past weekend. Once again, Villanova. But I think we are. I think that's the type of confidence we needed. And if there's someone to track down fast running backs, that would be Tony Rojas running 4.37 at 240 pounds. I like that. Prediction: 17 arrests in State College after a blowout win against Oregon. I'd go maybe even more than that. Den let out alone.
At least 4 of those will be me.
Yeah, John's going to get arrested 4 times over. I'll bail him out. He's going to be in the drunk tank. I think we'll get at least 15 of those 17 arrests that you're predicting would happen at Den let out anyways that night. Don't be around the Den. Please, God, don't even go to the Den. Can't believe I went there when I was younger. Charles, thank you so much for the donation, brother. He said, TBH, most concerned about linebacker depth. Who do you like? Also just got paid today. Great timing for the show. Charles, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate the donations, man. Yeah, so, I mean, where we're at right now, it is mainly just like Don DeLuca is the depth piece and no one else is really working in with that. I don't know how I feel necessarily about like Keon Wiley and all that. Like, that's still unproven. Anthony Specca, Keon Wiley, everybody asked about LeVar Arrington, obviously not playing at all this year. That's going to probably continue to remain that way. He's a young guy that needs to continue to develop. If there was a concern, I think that would be somewhere that you can absolutely look. So I don't blame you for having that worry. Let's keep those guys healthy. I do want to see Amari Campbell play against Big Ten offensive linemen. Haven't seen that yet. He's a smaller guy, 6 foot, doesn't weigh a whole lot. Can he take on those block shed, and then get to the running back? And then also, can Tony Rojas be the superstar that we know that he should be? Elliot says, freshman journalism student here watching from East Hall's dorm. Yes, sir. That's my old stomping grounds. Let's go. What would your advice be for someone looking to work in sports media like you? My number one piece of advice, Elliot, shout out you, man. I appreciate it. Sounds like you're already ambitious. Try to say yes to everything within reason. You can't just absolutely just tire yourself out and say yes to the dumb things. But that little meeting that you get invited to, or that lunch, that dinner, this event, every single time I say, I don't really want to go to that. I don't want to. And then I say, all right, let me just do it. Something good comes out of that. Make as many relationships as you possibly can. Cherish them, nourish those relationships with all of those people, and good things will come from that. So just continue to put yourself out there and be contagious and just be infectious with positive energy. That would be my number one piece. But yeah, that's why when I was talking to recruits that are going around, I got young guys in Maryland that ask me questions about, hey, what is your advice on recruiting? It's the same thing for what you're asking me with journalism to recruits that are in high school. Is take those opportunities that you have and meet those people. Networking is bigger than any degree that you can have. It is truly, especially in this world, all about who you know. So get out there, say yes to like I said, virtually everything, not everything. John?
I'll tell you what, Elliot, you're in a good place for it if you're in East Halls. Come down Monday through Friday to Studio Center on College Ave and talk to producer John or producer Steve. Leave us your personal info.
There you go.
You're quite close to some sports media, like the show you're watching.
I was going to say, yeah, come on down. We're right below Raising Cane's and Urban Outfitters. Come on down whenever. We're here all the time, Elliot, so please feel free to come on down. Did someone just... I feel like, we got a caller. There we go.
Oh, we sure do.
Yeah. Elliot, please come on down, though, man. That's awesome. Yep. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike calling from Grove City.
What's up, Mike? What's your question, brother?
I kind of got two.
One,
you said yesterday on the post-game show, Donko still seems a little hesitant coming back from injury, but Shanahan's still playing well. So do you think TJ Shanahan could slide into that starting right guard spot?
I don't think. Yeah, you can throw the other one.
And I was going to say my second question is, I know everyone's concerned about the passing game and the drops and Drew being out of rhythm, but do you think these first 3 games were more about getting Drew comfortable in chemistry with the receivers more than putting up the numbers, and then they start to open things up? Since, I think we all kind of forget that pretty much there's no big pass catcher returning from last season.
Right, yeah. So, number one, I think Anthony Donkett's going to continue to take a little bit of time. Just because of the talent that he is, I don't think you can put TJ Shanahan in there over him. But good news is we have 7 guys that we truly believe can play. So that is great there. You're in a good place. But I think we're going to still continue to have the starting line that we have. They just need to continue to gel. And then your second part of your question, yes and no. I do think after watching the tape back and over, our offensive passing scheme is a little vanilla. And there's no way that is just it. It's going to be more than just that. But you still, I've told you guys this, it's not like you don't come into these first 3 games, even though they're bad opponents, and you show like 30% of your offense. That's not a thing. We've seen like 80% of it. You might have some things you throw in, and you probably do have some things that you are going to add. And Andy Kotonicki says, hey, we have this route concept that we're finally going to be able to use, and we have this certain run that we're going to finally be able to use. But for the most part, it was just, like you said, it was getting in rhythm, and it was just Drew with the quick passes, and now we need to take it to the next level and stretch the field. So I think we will see higher level just kind of concepts out of Andy Kotonicki. I hope we do. We have to. Cornwall, another $10. My guy. He said, do you think this game also sets a precedent for the future of Penn State based on all the recruiting visits and implications of the majority of the team leaving next year? What are your thoughts? It's win now. It is win now, or I don't know when. And so, I do think this could have effect on recruiting. Good news is Adidas, and we got all these new sponsors, so we got some money. But if we lose to Oregon and Ohio State, yeah, that hurts recruiting. At the end of the day, like we're still at a place where money is a lot of things, but if you still can't get over that hump to win that big game, it is hard for me to say I want to go there to Penn State as an elite 5-star recruit, even if you do have the money now. Now, that's another reason why I think people say, just calm down. You guys are overreacting the first 3 games. Well, there's multiple reasons why there is a overreaction. Number one, the expectations of Penn State and what this roster was supposed to be. And, Jim Knowles, we have 2 gaps in the defensive coordinator and running backs coach, and we fill both of them just as good as you could possibly fill them. And so you have that. And then you have the fact everybody came back for a 1997-98 Chicago Bulls last dance type of run here. And you come out and you the things you put on tape does not make the fans or even someone like me that watches all the tape feel fully confident. So that is why you're kind of having the overreactions. I don't even know if you want to call it necessarily overreactions, but just the natural reactions to what we have seen up to this point. And people aren't happy because we feel like it's the year. And if it's not the year now, it's not the year for a little while. So yes, we need to win. And we do have a favorable schedule next year, just Michigan and USC. But how that's shaping out, like Michigan and USC could both be really good. Bryce Underwood, we go to Michigan next year. That could be something. USC comes to town for us, so that'll be good. But that is a really good question, Cornwell. Probably the best one I've ever seen you ask. Penn State Mafia roasted him. That's great. Chris says, good thing Landon's young. Farzad did ask something earlier. I'm sorry I missed that, brother. By the way, Farzad, he was giving some advice. Definitely listen to Farzad. Super, super successful guy. I really appreciate you following along. If you check him out on Twitter, he's got some great stuff going. Big Ten Spirit says, is there a team sports psych? Yes, because I had to do that when I went through all my stuff. So yes, we do have sports psychologists on the staff. Some people like that type of stuff. Some people don't. As far as like when you're a player, it helps. It always helps me. I'm a big so you guys can see, I'm very open. I can be emotional and just kind of like, I was always just wanted to like talk things out and put it out there. Some guys don't feel that way. So it kind of just depends. As far as that said, given all the tape you've watched, what's the single biggest thing that sticks out, both positive and negative? Oh, man. I guess I'll say negative would probably be the how repetitive the passing game is, the concepts, which I think means that we have been very vanilla and hoping that we can then get that thing up. Positive, oh man, I'd say I'll give you 2 things. Positive, I'll go the lack of confusion from the defense, everybody knowing where they need to be. And then the other positive, I'll say the tight ends blocking their butts off. Khalil Dinkins, Luke Reynolds, Rappleyea, all of them, all 3 block like men possessed, and they want to put people down. That has been something that I have really enjoyed watching, and just all 3 weeks I've seen both of those things of vanilla passing concepts, the tight ends blocking their butts off, and the defense not being confused. Charles, thank you again for the donation. He said, bet you all of King Babylon's money we see the inside tight end screen to Luke Reynolds against Oregon that we have not ran this year. Yeah, I almost just like said that play out loud, like the play call. I have it in my head. I don't want to put it out there. But yes, we've been running that for probably since 2021, the tight end screen and then the 3 interior guys, the left guard, the center, and the right guard, just like go up the middle. I feel like sometimes, I don't know, our screens game can be really good. It can be really bad. That's a really good call, though. I really like that call. We probably will run that tight end screen. What do we got here? Going to be a phenomenal chess match. You're right about that, Cornwall. We got some great coordinators going against other great coordinators. Brian says, love the show, Landon. Appreciate you, brother. How much can we really accomplish offensively in the bye week? If I remember correct, we are usually bad off a bye. Yes, James Franklin is 6-7, I believe, off of a bye. You can gel. You got normal practice this week, Tuesday, Wednesday. The boys are going to be out there in full pads. They're going to be going through it, and they are going to be trying to get better. The offensive line has to continue to improve. As much as it was good against Villanova, that is an FCS opponent. You are going to see a wildly, wildly different front 7. Like I said, Oregon, we're going to get into all of that stuff, but you were going to see 4 down, 3 down, 5 down front. They're going to stunt. They're going to move. The offensive line needs to be on point with their communication, but also like trusting that the guy next to them is going to do the right thing. All right. What are we doing with the hurry up offense? I feel like it stalls our momentum more than it helps us. Kind of depends. At different moments, it feels good. Sometimes it doesn't. I think we're going to try to use it as a weapon. My favorite thing to go hurry up is if you hit a big chunk play, let's go hurry up and then kind of just run the ball. The defense is tired, or take a shot. A lot of people, if you get a first down, you go hurry up, and then you take a deep shot on a go ball or something like that. So there's a lot of things you can do out of that. I've said it. Let's get Drew Allar into that 2-minute drill type offense and let him just freaking operate. Oregon, Chip Kelly, 2012, little DeAnthony Thomas action. Why not? All right, we are at 8:30, guys. I really appreciate you coming in. What do I have for you guys? I have 4 downs tomorrow. I'm going to show you some cool things. I know you might not want to see it. I am going to show you the difference of our offense. I'm going to show you some clips from Bo Prabula, Wisconsin 2024 last year, and Drew Allar now, and how much this offense is sculpted for Bo Prabula. I'm just going a Bo Prabula type quarterback. Let's not just say Bo, but that style. So we'll do that. I'm going to show you that we did see some Jim Knowles disguising, where he showed cover 1 man coverage and then shifted to cover 2. So I'm going to show you some of that. We'll look at a couple other things. So we'll have some fun with it. So I'll have a film breakdown tomorrow. And then we got some cool things coming the rest of this week. I'm going to do like a Big Ten. I'm going to do a Big Ten like record prediction thing. I have a ride around with Chris Buchanani that's going to come out. So a lot of cool stuff for you guys. We'll have some good content for you. And then Sunday will be the Penn State Oregon pregame show. We're going to get that out early for you guys as soon as I get to watch Oregon State versus Oregon, which should just be an absolute mauling. I'm going to get you guys everything you need to know. And then next week, we will have tons of Oregon film breakdowns. I'm going to have the head Oregon on 3 analyst on like that Wednesday. It's going to be everything you need to know. The Landon Tangwall Show will take care of you guys. Do not worry. Hit that subscribe button, guys, if you are enjoying the content. Remember, no paywalls, just Tangwall. Greatly appreciate you guys. Love you. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.